All right. Welcome. Welcome to this video. I'm going to talk today for quite some time. We're going to dive into how to bring forward your rich life experience, the potent moments, the lessons, the essence of everything that you're experiencing behind the scenes and off camera, and how you bring that forward into your content creation, into the way that you're showing up online, into the way that you're bringing yourself forward in the online world, and why that's important, how that's going to be really helpful and supportive and impactful towards your long-term goals. So if you are on the path of building your online business, or if you are just in general desiring to be putting yourself out there, desiring to be bringing your creativity, your expression, your artistry, your message, your magic more forward and reach more people, then this video is for you. Welcome to those of you coming on live on Facebook and Instagram, and if you're watching the replay, welcome. I'm going to dive into some really helpful things here as far as how to actually translate these rich moments that you're experiencing in life into your posts, into your creations, and into your offerings, and some common blocks that I see coming up for a lot of people in my field, clients, and that I've moved through, and just I've been seeing a lot of patterns as far as like what is actually in the way of like translating the magic and the potency of what we're really experiencing in the present moment. So I'm going to address some of those and talk about some healthy things to focus on so that we can move through those blocks and start to put ourselves out there in really bold and powerful ways. So welcome to this live. And before I dive into these things, I want to invite you to join. I'm hosting a free masterclass on 11/11 on Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to dive into this and so much more. It's called Illuminate, and the intention is that we're working through overcoming imposter syndrome if this has been something that's been coming up for you in life when it comes to bringing your work more forward into the world, and you're feeling like, oh shit, I just don't know enough, or you're comparing yourself, or there's like just some little confidence tweaks that you're ready to break through, then this free class is going to be exactly the medicine for you. You can sign up for free until we're live, and then after that it'll be a paid masterclass. So if you're catching this video after the 11th of November, then you can go and purchase the replay of that class. But if you're catching it before, then please do sign up. You'll have 3 days to watch it free if you have signed up before the 11th, if you can't make it live. But it's going to be such a good one. If you're, we're just going to dive into so many things. If you know that building your social media presence is the next step to take in order to really bring your work into the world, then come join this class, Illuminate. Just wanted to plant that seed there before we dive into this conversation, before I forget. All right. So you might be wondering why, or thinking, why is it important? I know I've been in this place where I just go through like a massive life initiation, or something really amazing or even traumatic happens in my life, and I'm just like, oh my God, that was so potent. The lessons from that, everything from that was so rich. And then I ask myself, all right, how am I going to dive into the process of translating that and sharing it with the world? And do I even want to share that with the world? Do I even want to bring that online? So there gets to be that like healthy level of discernment of, what is really personal to you that you would rather keep for yourself and for your friends and loved ones, or what is, maybe it's a growth edge for you to bring some of those really personal experiences and bring them forward and share those stories with your online audience, with your social media, because it's liberating for you, because it helps you to tap into those healthy growth edges. It brings you out of your comfort zone, and you know that it's going to help other people by hearing that story or influence other people. So if you're thinking, why bring my story? Why bring these rich moments? And what is the importance? So I'm just going to name a few that I've jotted down that feel really important for me when I'm in that position and I'm asking myself, why bring this online? For one, most importantly, to show other people what's possible. This is a high value of mine, is to be able to show up as a mirror, to be able to show up in my truth, to be able to show up in my authentic experience and to share it with people, to show them what's possible, especially when it's something tremendous that I moved through that at the beginning felt like, oh shit, I don't know if I have the skills for this. And then I'm on the other side and it's like, look, no matter what you're going through, you can get through it. I went through this, right? Like that's just an example. Sharing a story of something that you went through, knowing that it's going to inspire other people and show them what's possible. For the joy of self-expression too, and liberation, just purely for the joy of, I'm going to write down my story. I'm going to create that dancing video. I'm going to share my poem. Sharing for the joy of self-expression, for the liberation of your expression as a practice, as a ritual, as an art. Being able to say to yourself, I'm going to put myself out there because it just feels really good to put myself out there. It feels really good to be vulnerable in that way. It feels really good to build confidence in that way. It feels really good to allow myself to be seen. Maybe there's just that aspect of why you want to bring yourself online more, to share your story. You know that your story is incredible. Your story of life, the story of how you've got to where you are now. You've been through so many things, so many initiations, so many challenges, and now you're here and you're ready to share your story with others. To document powerful moments and experiences. This is something I love to do when I'm bringing my energy online, my creations online, is to capture moments that I go through. For example, just having gone through a hurricane experience in my town and being able to write and share about that and write about my emotional process and write about the lessons and the upgrades and the blessings that I've received through the experience. Or maybe you just recently went through a heartbreak and you want to document that. You want to just, share with your audience where you're at right now, and in a couple months you'll look back and you'll be in a completely different space and you've been documenting your process, and that in itself gets to be a teacher for you, for others. So using social media as a platform to document powerful moments and experiences. Maybe you gave birth to something like a project or an actual baby. Maybe you gave birth, right? Like to capture, it's like it's your little diary. It gets to be your expression of all these beautiful moments in life or all these difficult moments in life, like full spectrum. It really gets to be whatever you want. And so you're using it to capture some moments and experiences. Also, using social media to create connection. This is something that can be quite a polarizing subject in itself, as I've heard on the contrary that it feels really isolating on social media and that it's just a screen, and how do we actually create authentic connection. And I want to just say I have created some amazing connections through social media, through showing up on here with people that are on the other side of the world, people that are in different states, that are far away, that maybe I wouldn't have met in person otherwise. And now there's just a beautiful conversation happening between me and that person, and we get to collaborate online, and we get to just have conversation, create a relationship through time and space. And so this platform, bringing yourself into the online world, gets to be an opportunity for you to create amazing connection with others. We can't just limit ourselves to in person. I mean, we can if that's what we choose, but it's limitless when you come online of who you can engage with, who you can connect with. You might meet someone that just, it's like immediate soul recognition, and then you further down the line you meet in person one day, and then you end up collaborating on a retreat, right? Like we get to network on this platform, we get to reach out to others. And so for me, that's a really important reason why I might desire to bring myself more forward into the online world, so that I can network, so that I can create relationships with people and build intimacy with the people here, with my audience here. I really love that. I love to engage with people on here who, we all live very busy lives these days, and it's not always easy to make time to go hang out with all the friends we want to be seeing, in a week. And so social media gets to be a way that we keep in touch. We get to update each other. We get to show each other what we're moving through and learning. So, a platform for networking. And also to grow your work in the world, right? Especially if you're building an online business, or you're in that phase of your life where you know that your message is really just, it's ripe and it's ready to be curated through the form of an online offering. You want to reach more people, you want to have more impact, you're ready to branch out from just your in-person network. You really want to bring your work online. Social media is such a tool and an opportunity to grow your work in the world. Again, it's limitless with how many people you can reach, how many people you get to potentially change their lives forever just by going live and sharing a video that just goes off in someone's brain. It just rewires the way they were thinking about something, and then they go and shift their career, and then they're happier for the rest of their life, right? We get to grow our work, we get to create a bigger impact, and that's one of the main reasons that I'm here online and that I'm showing up for this live today, is to help you see and help you tap into some skills to bring your rich life experience online and to grow your work in the world, to network, to show people what's possible. These are just some reasons that I think of when it comes to why I would want to be showing up online more. Maybe these resonate for you. Maybe there's some more. If there are, I'd love to hear what they are. Please drop them in the comments. And let me know, what are the reasons that you want to be showing up on social media more, to build confidence in your speaking voice, to, what is it? Just let me know some of the things if I didn't mention them. Or let me know which one, which of these things feels really true for you. Like, oh yeah, that's why I want to be bringing myself online more. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, lastly, because why not? Right? Like, we have this resource at our fingertips. It's so easy to just press record. It's so easy to just go into our notes and type something up that feels potent in that moment. Or it's so easy to go on social media and just hit share whatever it is that we're sharing. It's really incredible to me how we can access this resource and utilize it in a really good way and let ourselves be seen in that. So why not? Why not play with it? Now, when it comes to translating your life into posts, it can feel sometimes difficult, sometimes how do I even take that experience I had and even begin to talk about it in words? I know I've been there so many times, and I often have this problem where life just feels so full and rich, and I find myself asking, how am I going to show up online this week? Like, I just had such a full, amazing weekend with interactions face to face. Like, how am I going to come back online? And it's always like just thinking, how am I going to build that healthy bridge of this medicine in person that's just so fulfilling for my heart and soul, and now to take that energy and to take those connections and to weave it into the way that I'm showing up and sharing online. It's a practice, and we have to remember that ultimately it's just art. Ultimately, everything that we're creating online, whether it's for business, like whatever the level of seriousness is, it's all just art. We are the one in charge. We get to decide how we're going to show up, what we're going to share, what we're not going to share. There's no wrong or right. And so always being graceful with ourselves and just allowing that permission to just be creative and to see this whole platform, whatever platform of your choice you're using, to just be an opportunity to share our art, to share our hearts. And also translating your story and your message into posts, into videos, into captions is also a skill that you just learn over time. And so I just want to bring awareness to that. For example, like many, many years ago, I was really not a strong writer. I didn't necessarily know how to write about my first ayahuasca experience and put it into an amazing story that would inspire other people. No, I just it was difficult for me to write about things that I moved through. And it just became a skill that I practiced. I practiced sitting down and giving myself the space to maybe write a poem or to tune into a little glimpse of a story I wanted to share, or maybe to create some visual art by doing a little interpretive dance. Like, and over time, you just get better and better at being able to translate yourself through your online creations. And it really is a skill. And I think also the more that you dial in on your values and why in the first place you're showing up online, it gets to become easier with how you're developing your skills for showing up. It just does. Over time, it becomes easier. And it takes practice, just giving yourself the grace of knowing that you're going to practice showing up, you're going to practice creating art. It's like a painter, for example. Not everyone is like a prodigy painter from start, and so just like sitting down with your canvas and some paint and practicing and trying it over and over, and being patient with yourself, being patient during the process, and knowing that the more you tune in to the truth and like the deeper honesty of what it is you're trying to share, it'll start to flow more organically, more naturally. So if you are like struggling to write a certain caption about an offering that you're sharing, invitation to really sit with that, the offering, sit with the energy behind it. What is the deeper reason that you're bringing this offering forward? And this is just an example, and to just get more in touch with the raw truth of why it is that you're showing up to share. And from that place, it typically becomes easier to channel, to write, to sing, to whatever practice you're bringing forward. The more honest you can be with yourself, the easier it's going to be to create content. If you're trying to copy someone else's structure, model, or follow some kind of system that you learned and it's just feeling difficult, you probably just need to get more honest with yourself, more honest with why are you sharing the thing you want to share? Like, what does it really, really mean to you? And how can you translate that from the depth of that connection? I hope that makes sense. And with that comes my biggest piece of advice I always love to share is consistency. This is like key for everything, just being consistent. Stuff takes time. You want to see certain results, it takes time. Sometimes someone gets lucky. In the rare occasion, someone might blow up online overnight and go viral, but oftentimes it just takes consistency to build your presence, to build your practice, to build your business. Starting from ground zero, it really, like, this is so, so important that you just tell yourself, I'm going to show up as consistently as I possibly can. That's my focus right now. I'm going to show up. Maybe it's 3 times a week. Maybe it's 5 times a week. And just giving yourself that discipline to show up consistently really helps in you developing more skills for translating your message and your magic into your online creations. It really does. The more consistent that you are, you just get better at it over time. So I want to go over some common blocks that I've been noticing lately on calls with some of my clients. I've been doing some market research calls, and just like these themes are continuing to come up. And ultimately, this is why I've created my free class, Illuminate, overcoming your imposter syndrome and building confidence. Like, those are the 2 main focuses, and those are 2 big blocks that I see that often surface when it comes to really stepping forward and bringing yourself online and sharing about your life, sharing about your magic and your medicine. Feeling a lack in confidence. This is a huge one. There are a lot of ways to look at this, and we're not going to dive into the emotional parts work component of this right now. I'm actually just going to give you some simple strategic shifts, because sometimes that's like the most practical thing to do if you want to just start moving the needle. If you're struggling with confidence blocks, strategic shift. map out your genius. Get a piece of paper. Maybe you're feeling like not so confident around what it is you want to be showing up online about. Get a piece of paper and write down some of the things that you are really passionate about, some of the topics, some of the subjects. Write down some things that you could easily talk about, things that you're just like, oh, health and wellness. I love all things health and detoxing from this chronic illness. I'm really good at that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that and then go into it, right? Like then sub niche it, break it down. What are the components of that thing that you could expand on? And just keep doing that with all the ideas that are coming into your head. Things that you love to talk about, things that you want to be talking more about, ways that you want to be showing up more in the online world. Maybe you want to talk about relationships, and you've been in so many different relationships over the last 10 years and you've learned a lot about men, and now you want to like start talking about how to be in a healthy relationship. Sit down with yourself and write down some of the key things that you feel really excited to just start riffing on more. Maybe it looks like just writing out an educational post around healthy communication, or maybe it looks like filming a little video of yourself talking about polarity between a couple, or maybe it looks like, I don't know, whatever your form of creation is. So sit down and just like write, journal, put together some things, like map it out, organize yourself. This is so helpful if you're feeling a lack of confidence coming online with your work in the world, to just organize your thoughts, organize your genius, organize yourself on a piece of paper, and then look at it and see that you have a lot to talk about. There's a lot there. There's a lot of ideas. Continue to break it down again and just get more and more information from your brain on paper, and that will help you to see that you have a lot to talk about, right? Even if there's still a lack of confidence. Again, we're not going to get so into that now, but even if there's still a lack of confidence, like work through it in the ways that you know how, and having that organization on a piece of paper is really helpful. It actually brings a lot of confidence. It brings more reassurance. It reminds you that you have a lot to share. So there's one helpful tip. The second block that I see often is just not knowing where to start, and with that, just stalling. Excuse me. So if you are in that place where you're just like, I don't know where to start, I really want to bring this vision forward, and you literally just don't know where to start, my advice for you is to just freaking start. Just do something. You have to do something. You have to take action. You have to make a move, and more clarity will come from there. If you're hitting a wall, then find a resource that's going to support you in either moving through that. Maybe it's like a free class, or maybe you go like do a meditation with yourself. Maybe you go all the way out and hire a freaking coach. I don't know. Do something. Decide what that one thing is going to be, and just start small. Start somewhere. Just show up and commit to yourself. Oftentimes when we are just stuck in not knowing where to start and feeling really stagnant there, it really relates to the self-confidence piece and this comparison piece that I'm going to speak to a little bit, which are also valid. And if you want to just start moving the needle and work those things out over time, like just make a decision for yourself on what steps you're going to start to take forward, even if they're very small steps, and then actually do them. Actually do them. Don't just put them on your to-do list and have it there for weeks and weeks and weeks and like hoping to be implementing that. Like, no, go and do it today. Go and do it tomorrow at the latest. Just tell yourself, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to take that step. Hopefully that's motivational. And yeah, the comparison piece. So oftentimes as well, what I see is, and I've been in this place so many times in my life, especially bringing my my business online is comparing to others, comparing to other people that seem like they have more authority or that they have more experience or more education in something than I do. And I just want to say that this really is so irrelevant and it doesn't serve you, because your experience is completely unique to you. And you might be comparing yourself to someone who's been doing this thing for years and years and years, right? It makes no sense to compare yourself to someone you see online that maybe you're a relationship coach and you're comparing yourself to another relationship coach who's been doing relationship coaching for like 8 years. It just doesn't make sense. If you're fresh on the path, if you're just starting out, give yourself grace and just like disconnect from looking at other people's social media profiles for a while. Like, really just stay in your own lane and focus on yourself. You can definitely go find inspiration from other people, but you've got to be so discerning that it doesn't start to get in your head and you find yourself comparing to others, because that doesn't serve. And everyone's story is so, so different. So even if that person you're comparing yourself to is also doing the same thing that you're doing, you have to remember that they could never do it the way that you're doing it. They can never actually do it the way that you will do it. That it will be different. It will be unique. And people will choose to opt into you or to them because they feel a connection with you or with them, right? It's just like destiny. It's already aligned in the stars. So you just have to trust that bringing your magic online is going to look unique, and there's no point in comparing to someone else's program or pricing model or what they have going or how to do it. Like, just stay in your own lane, learn some skills, find the program, the coach, the pieces that are going to support you in bringing your complete unique presence online. So cut the comparison. Be discerning about it. Catch it when it comes up if this is you. How's everything landing for you guys? I see some of you live. I'd love to hear if there's something that's just like popping out. And even, if you're watching the replay at this point, I'd love to hear what's sticking for you, what pieces are feeling like, bam, that was what you needed to hear right now. Drop it in the comments. Another block that I notice bringing your presence online more is trying to fit everything into one post or into one offering. This is like impossible, what I want to say. So if you are in the service-based business, you're a coach, you're a healer, mentor of some kind, you have offerings online, trying to fit everything in one post or one offering is just, it puts so much stress on yourself to overperform. How I like to see it is that your post or your offering is not taking someone from A to Z. Absolutely not, and it absolutely can't. I'll use an example. I just got off a call with someone and we were like brainstorming together how to bring her health and wellness practice online. And she wants to help people heal from chronic illnesses, specifically like mold or Lyme's disease. And I put into perspective that in one call, there is absolutely no way that you are going to help someone heal themselves from a chronic illness. It will take months, right? It might take years. And that's the investment that person's willing to take to really go all the way and improve themselves. It's the same with relationship coaching. It's the same with business coaching. It's the same with past life regression work. It's the same with anything that you're offering. Anything and everything that you're bringing online likely takes time. And so if you're crafting up an offering, if you're crafting up a free class, you want to think about, how can you just give someone that A to B? How can you just give someone that A to C, right? How can you close a small gap for them and not promise to over deliver something that feels honestly impossible to you? And this becomes more clear over time, the more you practice breaking down your ideas and creating little sub niches, you'll see like, oh, there's so much to talk about within this one little idea of mine. Oh, I'm going to break that down. And oh my God, okay, break it down even more. There's a whole master class there. There's a whole class there. Oh, that topic, there could be an entire like 4-week course, right? Like, take the pressure off yourself to try and deliver that, the pressure off yourself of trying to deliver a complete transformation in just one post or one offering. And I'll give an example again as like from posting, making a post on social media. If you're sharing your birth story, you just had a baby, right? You can't just share your birth story in one little post. It's gonna feel like really like that. It's just not possible. You want to take up more space. You want to tell all the different phases of your birth story. You want to go into details here. It might take like multiple posts to put that out there. And so, you can kind of put this into perspective of any post that you're creating. If you're sharing a post about building confidence, you could break that down into multiple posts over the week where you go into depth on more angles of it, right? It just like, it takes time to share your message, unless it's a really quick and easy message. It's just like bam, bam, bam. Sure. But at the same time, you're building a portfolio that all adds up. It creates the whole picture. So give yourself that grace and know that it's a long haul process. You're here to be creating something meaningful over time. And every little piece of it, every little post that you're creating, every offering that you're birthing, it's creating this whole beautiful container of your story, of your presence online, of your magic. So hopefully that helps put some things into perspective as well and take some pressure off of yourself when it comes to creating and bringing yourself online. So to wrap up the conversation, I'm just going to share some things that you can focus on right now to start moving forward. Building intimacy with your audience. Building intimacy with your audience. This looks like pretty much what I was just talking about. You are creating something over time. Every little post that you make, every little share that you make, every message that you're writing to your people or video that you're filming, it's creating trust, it's creating intimacy with your audience, and that is ultimately what's going to carry you towards your long-term vision over time. You're creating a network, you're creating a community, people that might buy from you in the future who really resonate with you because they've learned about you over time. Or people that, might become a part of your movement, might become a part of a community project that you're putting together because they've watched you be consistent. They've watched you show up over time. You've created intimacy. You've created real authentic connection with them through showing up on social media and in person, of course, but specifically here we're talking about social media. So focus on that. Focus on building intimacy with your audience and taking people on a journey. You really are taking people on a journey. You're showing them all different facets and aspects of your life and of your personal journey. And it's such a beautiful ability to have at this day and age, to be able to show up online and bring people along for the journey. So take and run with what landed for you here. I'd love to hear from some of you who tuned in live or perhaps catch this replay. Just drop a comment and please let me know what landed. I love hearing from you. And if you want to continue this conversation, then come to my free masterclass on 11/11. It's called Illuminate. We're going to dive way more into how to bring your presence online in a really wholesome way, in a way that feels empowering and authentic, how to really activate that authentic voice within you. I'm going to teach some really great social media skills and strategies that I've learned that have helped me to bring my inner creatrix online and overflow without feeling burnout, right? A lot of the times I notice that I find myself, or in the past found myself, feeling like there's no way I can show up online every day without feeling tired or uninspired or burnt out. And I've disproved that to myself. I'm able to show up online as often as I want, as often as every day if I really want to, and I don't hit burnout. There's a constant flow of creativity. There's like a solid confidence. There's an ability to just show up and speak what's on my mind and heart. And I want this for you too. If you want this for yourself, to be able to just like do the thing, to be able to show up and to start building your portfolio of work online. If that's kind of the focus of what move you want to be making next. You want to be building your online portfolio of work. You want to be expressing more. You want to feel more confident in the way that you express. And you just know building your social media presence is a really great next step, whether it's for your work or just for yourself, maybe eventually for some work that you want to bring forward. This masterclass Illuminate is going to be really, really good. And I'm really excited for those of you who show up. I'm excited to celebrate with you, to grow beside you, to share some things that I've learned along the way, and to break through some blocks that just like are ready to be dissolved. um, I will drop that link in the comments on Facebook and YouTube. And for Instagram, that link is in my bio. And I'm really excited to continue weaving with you all. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. My name is Jana, and just sending you all so much love. Thanks for tuning in.